all saw the disclaimer. Here's the deal. If you are a TNA fan, you're going to want to turn this off now, because this will be a big ass rant on TNA, and you probably don't want to hear it. You probably don't want to hear me bash it. You probably don't want to hear my, my biased opinions, whatever. I don't give a shit. Turn it off now. It's just the way it's going to be. Because after last night, after Christmas, and I was up and I was like, oh, there's nothing really on. I'll watch Impact. Yeah, I'm about done with TNA. That was bullshit. I don't know what that was they put on. I don't know what that was supposed to be that they put on, but they put it on anyways. That was horrendous. And to be honest, they're not giving me... Look, I said after the live Impact that if they were going to go in the direction they were going to do with the Impacts, which they have gone, that was fine. But you had to deliver on your pay-per-views. That they haven't done yet. They have yet to deliver on those pay-per-views, and I have very little doubt. I have very little hope. Well, I have very little hope that they're going to deliver at Genesis. I know people are saying, oh, but Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle should be a great match. Yeah, but nothing else on that card is really filling me with a lot of hope, to be honest. And, there's a lot of things I like about TNA. There are not a lot of things. There's a lot of guys I like to watch TNA entertain me. I like to watch them in the ring. However, I am continually I can't watch this shit. I just can't. It boggles my mind how a guy that was born into this industry, a guy that has been in this industry for 30 years, and a guy that helped usher in the last big boom this industry saw, can write this bullshit that they keep putting on television. It amazes me. Not only that, but you take this angle that you have a direction. After so long people saying you don't have a direction, you finally have a direction to go in. Main Event Mafia versus the Frontline. Except that you've turned it into the NWO versus WCW. This is how they're booking it. You don't believe me? Go back and look. You don't if you think, people are probably going to say, what's wrong with that? That is the most successful angle in the history of pro wrestling. That angle also killed the fucking company. Okay, go read any articles on why WCW failed. It's all on how they booked the NWO because of various reasons, because guys, had it in their contracts for creative control and all that, but it was how the NWO was booked, because it made people who were not in the NWO, with the exception of Sting, look like chumps. No one thought that they belonged in the same ring with them. It sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? We're continually seeing the Frontline look like they don't even belong in the same building with the Main Event Mafia. Who wants to... At what point do we even start to care? I don't care anymore. I'm like, they're goofs. They're continually getting beat down. These long, drawn-out beatdowns. When the Horsemen beat people down back in the day, it wasn't long, drawn-out beatdowns. It was little quick, little fast. They got the job done. The faces came out, made the save. The guy was hurt, and the Horsemen got their job done, and they smiled. They're like, we hurt the guy we wanted to hurt. You guys didn't get out here in time, and they slithered away. And they were good little heels. That's not even what we're getting here with the Main Event Mafia. What we're getting is we're getting what we got with the NWO, which was fine and dandy, except WCW never really got the revenge on the NWO. And at this point, it doesn't look like the Main Event Mafia is going to get the revenge on the Main Event Mafia. The Frontline's going to get their revenge on the Main Event Mafia. This is just such shit. I just can't. I watched this show and I'm like, and it started out pretty good. I wasn't really into the opening little segment, but it was okay. Then we got the X Division match, which was pretty good. I was like, wow, this isn't so bad. This is actually pretty good. I'm liking this. Even though we got a fake Muda instead of the real Muda. But I was okay with that, because it was a pretty good match. And then we got nothing. For an hour and a half, we got segments upon segments upon segments. We got what we thought was going to be a match, which just turned out to be a giant beatdown segment to make the Main Event Mafia look even more badass than they already are, like they need to look any more badass. And that's what we got a Sarah Palin segment. Why is this shit still on television? Why? You know, why did we get this? And then, when we finally got wrestling, we got to remind us that they had to remind us of it. Oh, by the way, remember the Knockouts? Remember this thing that was the highest rated segment on our TV show? Oh, well, remember now? We've now turned it into the Divas, and they have. But it's not as entertaining as the Divas. I don't enjoy it as much as the Divas now, because it's such crap. It's like, dear God, you should be better than this. It sucks dick. I am sorry. It just, like I said, they have to deliver on this pay-per-view. If they don't, I'm done. I'm literally done. I might do a review here and there, but I'm done. I don't want to feel like I'm forcing myself to watch this bullshit, because that's what I'm feeling like I'm having to do, because I just can't stand it. You know, I just can't. I'm like, what? You know, and people go, oh, you're just biased against the product. I don't know how I can be biased against crap. How are you biased against crap? Crap is crap, okay? And if enough people are calling it crap, it must be crap. And enough people are calling it crap. Enough people are saying this is not good, okay? Go back and look. You know, look. Okay. Dave Metzler just released the projected, or the estimated, I should say, pay-per-view buys for TNA this last year, okay? Because no one really knows, because TNA doesn't release those figures. You know what the highest, the biggest by almost double pay-per-view was for TNA last year? It was Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle at Lockdown. I didn't care for the pay-per-view that much. Doesn't matter. It's what the pay-per-view represented. Because remember, we all thought this was it. Joe was going to win the title. This was going to be the turning point. This is when we were finally all going to get what we wanted. Okay? And Joe won the title. And it did almost double of what even TNA's second biggest pay-per-view last year was 35,000 buys. Lockdown got 55,000 buys. I believe that makes it the second highest pay-per-view they've ever had, only to where the first Sting pay-per-view, where Sting made his return. That was the only one that was higher. That's it. Yet, and then we got and even if you even look at the numbers, the bad run, the bad booked run that they gave Joe, the numbers were actually better than last year. People were actually still turning in because Joe was the champ. Okay? Why can't we get that? Why can't we get that kind of build up, the fake MMA, the more ultra realism thing? Because apparently it worked. Apparently people turned in. Apparently that's what people wanted to see, because you got your second highest buy rate of all time. It's a fair question. I would like to have an answer, because I don't understand it. I don't understand how a company can do something right and say, oh, that's what we did right, so we're never going to do it again. What kind of business sense is that? What kind of business sense is to say, okay, the Knockouts are our highest rated segment. So Scott D'Amore is going to leave. Now we're going to totally change the way we're going to book it, and we're going to book it like the WWE books the Divas, and take one of our more popular duos in the Knockouts, the Beautiful People, who their whole gimmick is the fact that they're freaking WWE Divas in the Knockouts division, and take them and turn them into just normal women's wrestlers now, and take that speciality that they had, that uniqueness, and just erode it away. Okay? Yes, we lose Gail Kim. Gail Kim is not the most talented person out there. Gail Kim has uniqueness about her, and that she was able to get over, and she'd been in TNA for so long. But it's not like you couldn't have brought somebody in. There's lots of women in the indies that look just as good as Gail Kim and are probably even better in the ring than Gail Kim. Yet we can't see them we can't see them. One of them is actually in TNA, but she has a burqa on. Again, what the fuck? I don't get it. I will never understand it. I cannot fathom it. I will never fathom it. I watch this shit and I'm like, dear fucking God, this is why I TiVo this shit, is because so I could freaking fast forward through half of it, over half of it. Usually I fast forward through almost all of it because it's such shit. I don't get it. I will never understand it. Maybe it's not for me, and maybe that's just the way it is. But apparently it's not for a lot of people because their buy rates are still not improving all that much. You know, their ratings are pretty much hovering about the same. And I know people will go, well, you know, it's not the WWE where their ratings are going down and all of that. Yes, but the WWE is still the, you know, ECW for what, the last year now, I guess, or I guess pretty much since Heyman left, has pretty much been hovering around the same ratings too. So, you know, that's not, you know, the lower end wrestling shows are still doing about the same numbers. So I just don't get it. I cannot fathom this. And yes, TNA Marks, you have, maybe your wish will come true. Maybe they will piss me off at this next pay-per-view. Now, for all go, fuck it. I don't care anymore. If there's a pay-per-view I want to watch, maybe I'll watch it. If there's a match I want to cover, maybe I'll cover that match. But I ain't covering this shit anymore. If they don't care enough to put on a quality product, why should we watch? And they don't care enough to put on a quality product. They put on a crappy product. A product that is shit. For 2 hours of wrestling, it is shit. Go back and look at what the WWE did just this week. They went up to Canada. They went up to Bizarro World for WWE. Okay? They go up to the Bizarro World. They know they gotta put on a different product. A product that is different from what they normally put on. The type of product that we all say, this is what TNA should be putting on. And it was good. And it was great. And everyone was like, wow, why can't we get more Raws like this? And what does TNA do? They give us this shit. Okay, yes, I know it was taped before, but they give us this shit. Why can't we get what we got on Raw? Okay? I'm not even talking about the freaking, you know, the bad editing and the bad camera angles and all that shit that, you know, for all the crap Kevin Dunn and the WWE takes for his hatred of pro wrestling, he must watch TNA and laugh his fucking ass off at what type of imbecile they have doing their production. Because it is so bad at times. I just don't get it anymore. I just don't get it. You know, and I know TNA won't watch this. I know TNA doesn't care about my lone opinion. I'm just saying, I can't do it anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it anymore. This next pay-per-view definitely may be the last review I do. I thought about this last year before Bound for Glory. I thought Bound for Glory might be actually of last year, 2007. Might be the last one I do. Might be I'll do it one every once in a while, but I just can't do it anymore. Then they delivered some, you know, and they put on a really good pay-per-view. So maybe this will be a really good pay-per-view. Maybe they'll win back my confidence that maybe I can still have at least that hope that they can be something good. But they're not doing it right now, and it's frustrating, and it's just it's just brain-numbingly, just irritating to me that this shit goes on. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't, you know. And I mean, the last pay-per-view, I wasn't even going to review the last pay-per-view. I wasn't even going to watch the last pay-per-view, and I got sick. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm sick. There's nothing else I can do. I'll watch this pay-per-view. And I felt like I wasted my fucking time after watching that pay-per-view. I didn't even pay for it. Okay? If I had paid for it, I'd have been a pissed-off motherfucker. And that's the God honest truth. So, you know, anyways, I'm done. That's it. I just wanted to come on here and rant a little bit. TNA, can we please just have some common sense booking? Can we please have the faces look like they actually are legitimate rivals against the heels, okay? And not just be Jeff Jarrett and Mick Foley riding to the rescue instead of what we thought this was supposed to be, which was supposed to be them building up the young talent, which apparently that's not what this is supposed to be, because the only people that seem to have been gotten any type of push out of this whole deal is Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley, Team 3D, and Rhino. And why is Rhino in the main event of a pay-per-view? I know people are going to say, that it's not really the main event. The main event is Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. I don't give a shit. That's the main event. Why is that the main event of a pay-per-view? You know, I got respect for Rhino, but Rhino shouldn't be in the main event of a pay-per-view. Okay? Why isn't AJ Styles in that main event? I'm just asking. I just want to know. I can understand why Joe. It looks like they've kind of written Joe out for a while. You know, he just had a kid. That's fine. AJ can't be in that spot. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe I just need to just not overthink TNA. Maybe that's it. You know, maybe I should just watch the matches, which I can't even do because we get 30-minute matches. Sometimes only 20 minutes. Sometimes we get less than 20 minutes of wrestling. You know, I can't even do that. I can't even just turn it and go, okay, I'll just watch the wrestling. I can't even do that because there's not enough wrestling to watch. There's more wrestling on freaking ECW than there is on this fucking Impact. What? Anyways, I'm done. That was just a quick rant. I know the TNA fanboys are going to get pissed off and go crazy, and that's fine, dandy, whatever. Rip me, rip the WWE, say how can you say that when WWE sucks so much. I don't give a shit. This Impact sucked ass. It was horrible. And, you know, they have totally taken this angle that looked like it might be something special in my opinion, and they're ruining it because they're booking it just like WCW booked the WLO angle, which ended up killing the company. So, there it is. People will disagree. I don't give a shit. That's my opinion. I'm out. Later.